It's Friday already?
First things first, yeah. Let's get good drunk.
Today is a day of saying, hey, yippee, hey, yippee.
This is Sparta!
Loud noises!
Ah yes. We made it, we finally made it, we have made it to the Friday episode. On tonight's episode, Big Drewski and Casper break down some of the premier matchups in college football this upcoming weekend. Spreads, over/unders, and of course your weekly pick-ins. Today's episode is sponsored by the Depot Printhouse, www.staycating.com, and True Tennessean Clothing Company. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave the boys a review, because again, I can't stress this enough, but they have literally no clue what they are doing. Let's get on into today's show.
Welcome to the Little Tangerine Show. If you have not already, click like, click subscribe. I am Big Drewski here with my co-host,
Casper
the co-host. Oh, baby. The Tennessee Vols are coming off of a big-time win that me and Casper witnessed firsthand in Neyland Stadium, baby, against UConn, 59-3. It was a good day indeed. Me and Casper got to see Nico's first ever touchdown. Legend has it that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's mom was talking about it at the Chiefs game. So
interesting.
I don't know. It sounded
Where's
good.
that come from? Is that just some crap you made up off the top of your head, or is that real?
I mean, internet doesn't have to be true, right? So who knows? So we got a great show for you guys tonight. Now, if you are watching this on the interwebs, okay, notice the ticker at the bottom, okay? It's technically a live stream, but you could be watching this later as well. But what we're doing is we're airing these episodes later for you guys to enjoy or make fun of us or whatever. So feel free to comment at any time, day or night. We will go back in and read some of the comments from the last one, if there are any. A lot of you guys react, but for some reason you don't want to comment. I don't know. It's weird. But
You're scared of my beautiful face.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. So welcome back yet again. So the Tennessee Vols kicked off basketball play with a dub against Tennessee Tech.
True story. Football team won by more than the basketball team did.
That is nice.
The basketball team won 80-42. So, I mean,
someone shared like a weird typo where I guess ESPN messed it up and said that the Vols actually lost on like the ESPN notification, which I thought was kind of funny, or whatever. But I thought that was kind of comical. But yep, good for them. Now I am trying to make it a point. We'll talk about basketball passively, but we are trying to keep this to college football. Although in the off season, who knows? When me and Casper drop back down to one episode a week, who knows what'll tickle our fancy? We'll talk about just whatever we feel like talking about, I guess.
Pretty much.
Also, me and Casper realized the painful truth that we have to pull for old Lane Kiffin this weekend if the Vols want to have any shot of doing something with the rest of this season. So,
I mean, personally, I love pulling for Lane Train. Okay, I'm all aboard. I don't know why we ever let him go. I mean, I think we should have paid him, kept him. Lane Kiffin he's a golden nugget for media perspectives, and he is obnoxious.
You were still a Tar Heel at that point.
No, so. Not really. Lane Train, when Lane Train came to town, that was like when I first started being a Tennessee fan.
Well, I guess you forgot. We didn't let him go. He abandoned us in the middle of the night. It wasn't.
Yeah, but if we would have paid him to keep him, though, that's what I'm saying. I understand he abandoned us in the middle of the night. That has security guards. I know they painted the rock.
Well, I mean,
Kiffin. I know. I've seen.
He left us after his first season, though. We didn't have a chance to pay him. USC called him, and he's like, "Oh yeah." I wish they all could be California girls. And then we were burning mattresses in the middle of the road. I was at Carson Newman when that happened, actually.
Hey, let's talk about a little side story since we're going to talk about that and coaches and going to USC. USC is where coaches go to die, dude. Like,
It does seem that way,
mean,
yes.
Some people would argue that Tennessee is as well, but I mean, USC is, bro.
Pete Carroll may have taken the last little bit of magic juice with him when he left.
I mean, he must have walked out with a goat. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. There's some kind of curse going on there, but sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It has really
whole Lincoln Riley thing. So
it has really went downhill fast for the USC Trojans. What was once a great and prestigious organization is now in, I guess, shambles. I don't even really know.
My favorite USC fan was disappointed in me for picking them last week on here, by the way. She was like, why'd you have to pick them? That's just going to make them lose. And I was like, it's the only game I missed. Don't give me that.
You may have jinxed them. It's something that we have to acknowledge. It is possible.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I thought it would be kind of fun. I caught this article here, which is now being buried by ads. Okay, there we go. Thought it'd be kind of fun before we, kick things off to talk about some Tennessee Vols and their eligibility that is remaining. This article is from Vols Wire. Feel free to check them out. Apparently, they're a USA Today sports affiliate, I guess. I don't know. This article was printed by Dan Harrelson, November 5th, 2023. So we're going to scroll down through some of this. Parker Ball, offensive lineman. Apparently his remaining eligibility is not applicable. Nobody knows. Tyler Barron, senior defensive line, including this year, he owns 2 seasons, so he'll have one more season of eligibility left if he decides to use it. Aaron Beasley has already elected to return for his final year of eligibility. That says in 2023, though, so that's not really clear. I mean, how do you read that?
I read that as in 2023, and I don't. What is this article? I don't. Sorry, I haven't looked at it, and I'm looking.
When
at
I first read it, I thought it was saying he elected to return for his
he's
final
done
year
after this year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how that reads. It's kind of weird the way they word some of these.
That means he's done. Yeah, it is kind of weird how they wrote it, but
Warren Burrell, he's a redshirt senior, but according to this, I'm guessing he has one more year of eligibility left after this season. Charles Campbell, the kicker, he gone. John Campbell Jr., the guy that Michael Ord, that guy in whatever game that was.
He's got one left.
It says he has 1 year of eligibility as a 6-year redshirt senior in 2023. Man,
whoever wrote this, I mean,
Dan Harrelson, be more clear that we're Tennesseans. We the way you're says he has 1 more year of eligibility as a 6-year redshirt senior in 2023. So who knows? McCastles, he gone. Crawford, he gone. Jeremiah Crawford, that's the guy who infamously puked during the Bama game. Dane Davis, redshirt senior offensive lineman, he's got 2 years left, including this year. Currat Garland, he gone. Quasi Garland, he's got 1 more year. Kamal Haddon, he gone. That's going to suck, by the way. Roman Harrison, he gone. Gabe Judy Lowley, apparently he's got 1 more year after this year. Ramel Keaton, he gone. Jackson Lampley, our redshirt senior offensive lineman, he's got 2 years, I'm guessing, including this year as well. Ollie Lane is gone. I'm just trying to call out the main ones. Cooper Mays has 1 more year if he chooses to use it.
He'll be back. I believe in Cooper. He'll be back.
Again, Jalen McCullough, says remaining eligibility, elected to return for his super senior year season, his 5th and final season of all uniform. I don't know if that means
He's
this
done
year or not.
after this. Yep.
Unclear about Brew, which we were trying to talk about the medical red shirt thing. Not sure how that's. Yeah, we don't know if he. We'll see. Tamarian McDonald, he's got 1 more year left. Joe Milton is done. Keenan Piley. Let's see. Kind of unclear. So we're getting a few back. But we're going to be losing some. We did get a lot of guys in the transfer portal and the recruiting, though. So, but we are losing some big time players. I'm kind of curious to see. I'm really curious to see how we adjust, because this year has been kind of a. Would you classify it maybe as a growing pains year? How would you classify this year? Is that fair to say? Growing pains of.
I don't consider this year to be pain as of yet, man. Like I really don't. I think as long as we win one of these next 2 games, I'm happy with the season. It's just
I just mean like nothing this season it's not went the way that we thought, but it's also none of it's really went smooth, if that makes sense. Like we've had to kind of grind it out a little bit. It's been up, down, all around. But I'm with you. I think 9-3 we should be ecstatic. 8-4, I can live with an 8-4 as long as we're still on the upward trajectory or whatever. But So
no, I mean, you asked if I think it's a growing pains. If we lose both these next 2, it's growing pains. If we win one, I'm happy with it. And it doesn't even really matter which one. If we just win one, I would prefer to beat Georgia, obviously, because to hell with them. But
the Devil went down to Georgia one time.
Yeah, I mean,
looking for a soul to steal.
I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but we still have a chance for a good year. Better than me and you expected. So we'll see what happens. But this week, it's all about them Tigers this week. That's all that matters.
It is all about them Tigers.
As a Vols fan, all we have to do is beat the Tigers this weekend. I'll be happy. So.
Yep, smack them kiddies around. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into some pregame. Then we're also going to talk about the weekly pick'ems, and we're going to tell you guys what we think. Not so stick around. Baby, don't go nowhere. Little Tangerine Show. Welcome back, baby, to the Little Tangerine Show. If you have not already, click like, click subscribe. Tell your friends. Just tell your friend, tell them all, whether they want to hear about it or not. We could go old school, like, back in the, we were good church kids days, and we can take business cards like you used to, Bible tracts, and roll them up and stick them into the toilet paper in the stalls, just wherever you can stuff them. We'll get you guys some Little Tangerine Show business cards, and you can just litter them all over the street. Just kidding. Don't do that. That would be technically breaking the law. Welcome back. I'm Big Drewski. Again, Casper with me. We're going to get into some game. Tennessee Vols versus Mizzou. We said last week that we 100% need to respect this game. Mizzou is not a joke. They are actually good this year. Me and Casper have been trying to tell you guys all year long. They're sneaky good. Okay. They have finally convinced the rest of the world that they're sneaky good. And it's weird to me. So Casper, you're trying to think how to word it. You're downtown way more frequently than me. Your stomping grounds are down there on the university.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird because I feel like it's like 50-50. Some people are entirely aware that we could drop this game, and then some other people are blissfully unaware that Mizzou's good this year. What has some of your interactions with the common folk been like? Is everybody kind of aware that Mizzou's good, or they're oh no, we're gonna skunk them?
First of all, some of the common folk know more than me that we're referring to here, but no, I mean I think anybody that knows anything clearly has a good amount of respect for Missouri here coming in this weekend. The ones that just like to wear orange on Saturday because they live in Knoxville, which there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But if you don't know college football, you just Missouri, Vandy, Missouri. I mean, the great T. Fitty was quoted saying that we need to kick Missouri and Vandy out of the SEC if we're going to take on Oklahoma State.
That is an actual quote.
He is kind of an uneducated football fan. So
he defended that tooth and nail that he didn't say that. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that I always just kick Vandy out.
I mean, no, I think for the most part, the good, intelligent football fans know Missouri's good. Missouri kind of came out of nowhere this year. I don't think either of us had them really high up in our preseason thing. And, I mean, I'm like, so with Missouri all week, I'm kind of like, so how exactly did they get here? Like, I mean,
yeah,
that's just kind of how their year's been. They haven't, the thing about it is, they really haven't beat anybody in the SEC. They beat Kentucky. I mean, like that's like if you go look, they beat Kentucky. I mean, they haven't played that many SEC games yet. I guess, but like, so they got Kentucky, Vandy, lost to LSU, beat South Carolina, lost to Georgia. They're gonna finish up with 3 SEC games. I mean, we'll see what they got, man. Like. Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas, they could drop all 3 or they could win all 3. I don't know. And that's kind of how our schedule is. Well, we're not going to lose 3. We could lose 2, but so we're kind of the same way.
I mean, knock on wood, we should beat Vandy.
Should. Yes. Sorry, when I said that, I meant should.
100% can beat Mizzou. Georgia, if we lose that one, nobody's really going to bat an eye out.
A long shot, I mean.
So on paper, both teams are fairly evenly matched. Mizzou, they're averaging 32.4 points a game. The Vols are averaging 34.8 per game. Total touchdowns, 38 and 35. I mean, they're pretty close. Net passing yards for the Vols 2148. Net passing for Mizzou is 2564. Rushing, the Vols have rushed for 2050 yards. Mizzou has rushed for 1343 yards. Penalties, the Vols have been penalized 76 times for 630 yards. Mizzou 65. Vols have been penalized quite a bit this year. But yeah, on paper they're pretty even. I do think that Mizzou's defense is pretty
definitely not where ours is. They're 54th. We're like 23rd, 21st.
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving up 18.4 points a game. Our defense is solid. That fan, if that was sitting in front of us, I know our defense is good. I was just mad we gave up, wide open.
Our defense is good, but we do also have to be aware of the fact that we do not have Haddon anymore. He's out the rest of the season. Yeah. That definitely plays a role. Now, you asked me last week, if I thought that Tennessee was the better team. I do think that the Vols are the better team. I think that we're better on the ground. Both defenses are good. Like you said, I think ours is better on the defensive line. I think their linebacking core is a little better. But really for me, like we're just now going to find out how bad Haddon is either going to hurt us or help us, or how much of an impact that he had. We're going to find out real quick. But like I told you, and I can't remember if I said it during the episode, but like I told you off the air, in my opinion, for the Vols to win this game, they got to get 225 rushing yards. Like, it's just when we win games, we get rushing yards. It kind of is that simple. It's not that simple, but it kind of is. If we can ground a pound and run the ball effectively, we win ball games. Now, whether it's directly because of that, don't know. But we are averaging quite a bit more rushing yards than they are, like at least 100-ish more per game.
Dude, we're third. We're third in the country in rushing. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Air Force is leading with their deal. They just dropped out of the top 25. I don't know who that second place team is, but I mean we're absolutely running the ball. We got as good
Smoking
three
it.
backs as anybody in the country. So you're
And,
right. We have
you
to
know-
we have to run the ball. I agree.
Everybody laughed at me when I said that at the beginning of this year. Like, dude, we have one of the most underrated.
I was right here with you saying the same thing.
But we have one of the most underrated rushing attacks in the country. And we need to play to our strengths. But I definitely think now the other thing too, and I mean no disrespect to Mizzou at all, but I don't know that I can say with 100% confidence that they have like one of those stifling home atmospheres, like going to the Swamp or going to Georgia, South Carolina. I don't know that they, now I think that their football team's getting better, but I don't know that they have like just one of those game changing type home atmospheres. Maybe it's going to be loud and rocking, I don't know. But so I don't know how much the home noise, quote unquote, is going to help or hurt them. But I do think the Vols can win this game. Now, as of right now, the Vols are favored by, what is it, 1.5?
Yes, sir. Actually, it's 1 point.
Is it 1 point now? It's been changing around quite a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think the Vols can get the win, but I think we're going to have to ground and pound. It seems like our receivers finally have learned how to handle the heat coming from Joe Milton. They seem to be catching better as of late. Thornton, was pretty effective last week. Keaton was pretty effective. Squirrel has been effective. He's, our leading receiver. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's going to take D. Williams playing a little offense. Maybe it's going to take trotting Cameron Seldon out there and having him, play some wide receiver. And he was, pretty effective last week and the snaps that he got. But I don't know who the playmaker is going to be. But I definitely think I think Jalen Wright needs 100, and then we need, 225 plus. Whether that's split between Milton or whoever. But I also think running that hurry up, man, getting some read option in there, letting Joe Milton do what he do, I think is going to put us in the best spot as well. He's way more comfortable running that hurry up. And he, in my opinion, does pretty good at read option. We don't run it enough, but definitely gonna have to ground a pound. I'm curious to see how it's gonna go. This is a battle for the SEC East. I mean, both teams are tied currently for second in the SEC East. So, any predictions for this game or any things that you want to see?
Sorry, I've been over here while you've been talking, scrambling. Before we get started, because we're talking about the run, what happened to Jabari? Where's he at?
He's questionable.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Like it must be real quiet, whatever it is, because I've been looking for like 2 days and I never found anything the other day, and I can't find anything right now. But anyways,
When you look, I'll look up the injury report or whatever. But last I looked yesterday or the day before, he was just listed as questionable.
I think that's the same thing. So I think running is going to be the key, and I think that having him or not having him can make a big difference. Obviously, Jalen Wright's a stud, Dylan Sampson's a stud, but having three, my whole thing has been if you pound them with Jalen, pound them with Jabari, then you bring Sampson in. When them boys are tired and you bring Sampson in, son, and he turns the jets on, you just can't touch him. And there's something about that. And but I mean, hopefully he'll be playing this game because I think that you're right. The key to this game is going to be the run. I think kind of to control time possession is a key for Tennessee in this game a little bit, which you do by running the ball. And, I also think we're going to have to run the hurry up, man. Milton looks better in it. You've been saying it. I wasn't sold that he had to have it to look good, but the more you sold it, the more I bought it, if that makes sense. So I think running's going to be a big deal. Defense, I mean, I'm
We
not.
gotta get pressure on the quarterback, but
I'm not sold on Brady Cook. But here's the thing, and this is your famous line. We have a habit of making mediocre
average quarterbacks look
like
great.
stars, right?
Mhm.
And we're getting pretty close to that 1-year anniversary of that South Carolina game, right? I mean,
It was about this time of the year. I
it was
think we
about
had
that time of year, wasn't it? And I mean, I
Mizzou
don't,
was our bounce back game last year, but
yeah. So,
I
now
think
I don't know. I'm nervous about this game. I don't know what I think is going to happen in this game. I am very
our defense is very high risk, high reward. Like they're gonna allow some points. But they're probably gonna create some turnovers.
yeah,
We got to get pressure on Cook.
correct.
But in my opinion, man, I mean, I think tying up Schrader, the running back, is going to be a key because, I mean, I'm just looking down through this list, but, 138 yards, 84, 58, 123, 71, 114, 71, 159, 112. In both the two losses, he still rushed for over 112 yards each.
Yeah.
I think keeping their running game at bay and getting pressure on the quarterback is going to kind of be the key. Like you said, Brady, Cook is he's kind of hot or cold. 411 yards against LSU, 395 against Vandy, 341 against Memphis, but and he did put up 356 against Kansas State, which their defense is pretty good, but 175 against Kentucky, 205 against South Carolina, 212 against Georgia. So, he's definitely kind of hot or cold. The Vols, like I said, we're great at making average quarterbacks look like superstars. So Jabari Small is listed as questionable for Saturday, undisclosed. Small was absent from the previous match with an unknown issue, leaving his availability against Mizzou on Saturday in question. Kamal
He hides this stuff pretty tight to the chest, and I like
Yeah.
that, just for the record.
It is of note that Mizzou they do not have Luther Burden III, which he's kind of a big playmaker for them. 177 yards against Memphis, 149 against LSU, 90 against South Carolina. He's kind of one of their playmakers. He has been their leading receiver for all games except for 2. He is out.
Yeah.
They are also without a couple of DBs, linebacker, but not having Burden the third, it's going to put a burden on them. If you know what I'm saying, it's going to put a burden on them not having Burden the third.
What happened to him? Because he played against Georgia, didn't he?
Says questionable Saturday, undisclosed.
Yeah, he was playing tough in that Georgia game. From what I remember, and was getting kind of beat up.
Raider was balling out a little bit as well, but
Yeah.
says
that's a positive, I think, for us. We're coming off of UConn. They're coming off of Georgia. Obviously, they got the snot knocked out of them playing an SEC opponent. We played UConn. I mean,
yeah.
Other than number 64, who's just been obnoxious. But I mean,
for these Missouri Tigers, I'm pretty sure it's a movie from a line from a movie or whatever. But the most dangerous thing that the Mizzou Tigers have is hope, my friend. Hope can get you into trouble, and they have hope. We're going to their house And if they beat us, they're second in that. Now, granted, Georgia's in the driver's seat, but they still have hope to play for. Where the Vols, we're kind of like, we don't really know what we're doing. We're going to keep grilling. We got 3 games left. Like, hopefully we win. Yeah, we're kind of just like, I don't know what we're doing half the time.
I want to ask you another kind of important question about this game. So you talk about play calling a lot. We saw D. Williams make a couple of plays on the offensive side of the ball. Do you feel that it means that we've got more in the playbook? For one, that's question number 1. Do you feel like there's more in the playbook with him? And for 2, if there is, do we roll that out against Missouri if that's what it takes to get a win, or are we saving that for Georgia?
I think we're probably going to try to save that for Georgia. I think so. What I think is going on is they rolled that out. I do think that they've probably got some play calls for him, but I think they rolled it out last week to try to get Mizzou to game plan for it, and then us not use it against Mizzou, and then hopefully Georgia forgets about it. But
we're gonna have to have. I think to win these next 2 games, there's gonna have to be some wrinkles in the offense, and I'm curious to see. I think Georgia's gonna come at us probably with that same stupid defensive line shift.
Hopefully we got something for that.
Hopefully we've got something for it. But it's kind of like what we said about, okay, Georgia's won 23 games in a row now. How are we taking them out of number 1 in the poll? Like, if you're Georgia, we beat the snot out of Tennessee doing this last year with like 11 false start penalties. So, yeah, we're going to do it again, So, hopefully we got something for that. But I am curious, like, this win overall in the season kind of matters pretty big because I feel like the 8-4 and 9-3 is a big difference. And, so, like, how much of the playbook are we going to pull out? I think that's something kind of.
I think, like I said, I think we rolled it out to try to trick Mizzou into thinking we're going to use it, but it's almost like a decoy. I do think that they have some play calls for him.
And it's deeper than what we saw. I mean, I think that.
Yeah, I think we only seen like a few
game, they might have more in the book for sure.
We definitely, like, when we were sitting there at the game, I was like, "Holy crap, was that D?" Because he just moves different. But matchup predictors got the Vols at 60.6%. That's a little. They got ESPN's got a little bit more favor on the Vols than Vegas does. But I don't know. Brady Cook, 2,471 yards, 16 tuds, 5 interceptions. Milton is similar, 2,016 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So this is going to be another game where Milton can kind of prove himself, with some of the Tennessee Vol faithful and the Nico fan squad. But do we pick this game? I guess
we're going to pick this game because it's also in our Pick'ems game. But I want to pick this game now as we go through it. I want to hear your prediction.
I'm going to say that it's going to be a close game throughout, but the Vols are going to wear them down with that Russian attack, and I think Mizzou's going to break towards the end. I think the Vols are going to win by 8 points. But it's going to be close up until like the last 6 minutes. And we're going to probably, I think we'll probably get some points and then like a pick 6 or something stupid, and then maybe even like shank an extra point or something ridiculous. But I think I'm going to say 8 points, which is a very unusual pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 8 points, but it's going to be close up until the last 6 minutes. Vols win.
All right. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Volunteers. So I'm going to be honest with you. All day coming into this, before I started doing the notes for the show, I was going to go with Mizzou, and I put that up there to throw you off a little bit. But, man, I started looking through their schedule. They ain't played nobody. I mean, LSU is by far LSU and Georgia. Other than that, they ain't played nobody at all. And I don't know. It's Missouri, man. Like at the end of the day,
I'm glad
still Missouri, T50. They're still Missouri, and
I'm glad you came to your senses Because I got the feeling you're slightly offended last week whenever I was like, I think we're better. What? No.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I did, and I think I bought the hype that was being sold, and then that's what I was saying when I started doing a little research, and I was like,
like our our NASCAR buddy, you can't always believe what Stephen A says. Okay?
exactly.
I mean,
So,
these ESPN guys, they're all about the rate. Mizzou is good. They're sneaky good. Like they'll sneak up and beat teams they shouldn't, and then lose to teams that they shouldn't as well. But
I also have a good amount of faith in Josh Heupel. I don't know about you, but I really do.
I
They have this
do. I
team ready
think
to go mentally. I think this game for Tennessee is more about being mentally prepared than anything, and I have faith in him to have them ready for that. So,
all right. So we're both picking the Vols. Now moving on in to our weekly pick'em segment.
hold on. Important update. I saw the leader of the pack today, Dave Redown himself. I got my picks from him, except not really because he wouldn't write them down for me. That scumbag. He played it off so cool too. He's like, man, I ain't even looked this week. If I don't quit messing around, I'm gonna lose. He acts like he don't try. Dave Redown, we ain't buying that, son.
So you're just copying Dave Redown's picks? Is that it?
No, he didn't give me his picks because he knew that I would.
Well, he probably looked at Drewski and Casper. They're holding up the number 2 and 3.
Like, man, he's like, I better watch out, or y'all gonna catch me. I was like,
we are gunning for you, Dave Redown.
Hey, good to see you, Dave. You're up now, so I'm gonna call you Dave. So good to see you today, man. But, anywho, all right. Number 3, Michigan at number 10, Penn State. Big Drewski, who you got?
So, in our weekly pick'ems, now it's a little late, but you can still play www.bigdrewski.com.
May or may not do the bowl thing. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works, but feel free to continue to play. At this point, it appears that the $100 gift card is Dave Redown's to lose. But this one's tough for me, but I am going to go Michigan because this is a noon kickoff. It is at home for Penn State, but these noon kickoffs are weird. Michigan already has stolen all their signs. Maybe Penn State changes them. I don't know. But I'm going now, for the record, I may change this one upon thinking on it. But right now, at this moment, my gut is telling me Michigan on the road. I'm just looking at that noon kickoff, 11-11, make a wish. Give me Michigan. Close.
Yep. I don't even know it's going to be that close, frankly. I'm with you on the noon kickoff. It completely ruins these games, and the fact that Fox is having these games at noon disgusts me. They do this. Same thing with Ohio State. Ohio State, Michigan is probably going to be at noon. That's what they did last year. They're probably going to do it again. I hate it. It's boring. I want to see this game. If this game is at Penn State at night and they do that whiteout, I take Penn State to win this game. But
yes,
give me Michigan for sure. Moving on. Next pickup is Texas Tech at number 16, Kansas. Kansas favored by 3.5.
So here's the thing: Texas Tech is not as bad as a lot of these people. They look at the record, but they don't do any scooping. Texas Tech is not as bad as people think, but I'm still going to go Kansas. They're 4-2 in the conference. They're trying to keep it alive. Texas and Oklahoma State are both 5-1. They're playing inspired, even though it's noon. I'm going to say Kansas because, most of them guys are farmers anyways. They've already been up for 6 hours. Don't matter. So give me Kansas. Close, but Kansas.
I agree. Give me the Jayhawks. And I really don't think it's going to be that close, frankly. I think Kansas is coming back into their own. They looked like they were going to fold. They bent, but they haven't broke. Give me the Jayhawks. Up next,
Texas Tech. They're going to make an unpredictable run in the beginning, and they're going to look really good, and then Kansas is going to wear them down.
It's a 12 o'clock game. Nobody's going to be watching anyways. I'll be driving to the Nashville. So
I'll probably
Next up, the ACC, worst conference in America. And the other irrelevant game we're going to pick this week, Virginia Tech at Boston College. Virginia Tech is 4-5, 3-2 in conference. Boston College is 6-3, 3-2 in conference. Virginia Tech favored on the road, 1.5. Another 12 o'clock boring game. Who you got?
I am going to take Virginia Tech on the road. Boston College's Castellanos, however you say it. 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think he might get a little sloppy on this one. But Virginia Tech, they're trying to be bowl eligible. I think they're going to come out hot and heavy, and they're going to win on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go with Boston College. This is the same Boston College that almost took down the number 4 Florida State Seminoles. Give me Boston College. Big game at home. Another team that shouldn't be in the ACC. Anyways.
Boston.
Boston.
The Boston College Eagles.
Carolina played – this is a completely random story, but Carolina played them in the Continental Tire Bowl the year before Boston College came to the ACC. And, they've come to the ACC, and that might be the most irrelevant team in the ACC. They're worse than Vandy. I mean, honest to God, they're not good at anything. All right, moving on. Rutgers at number 22, Iowa. Iowa's favored by 1.5. This is a 3:30 game. We're not at noon this time. Rutgers is 6-3, 3-3 in the conference. Iowa's 7-2, 4-2 in the conference. Iowa just got back into being ranked this week. Who do you have here, my friend?
I'm going to take Iowa at home, 3:30. They're on a roll. For the record, I don't even know what the under is, but I would probably say take it because 28. I still would probably – this is going to be a low-scoring game. Rutgers is very good on defense. They also are not great on offense. Iowa is known for not doing anything on offense and hoping that their defense comes up with some points. But I'm going to take Iowa at home. Give me the 74%.
Man, this is a tough one. I don't believe.
No, it's not. Rutgers, when they name their university, it's like they hit the scramble mode. Like, where are they even? Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Like, what are you even talking about? That's New Jersey for you.
Take the Scarlet Knights over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa, they're just not. I don't trust that whole thing. I don't know if Cade McNamara is he still like questionable every game. It really doesn't matter because they have no offense.
I think it depends on how good his hair looked, if he gelled it correctly.
Can I take the over on how many punts there are in this game? I don't even know what the number is, but if you could bet that, I'd take the over. Moving on, in the super irrelevant game of the week, New Mexico State at Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Western Kentucky is favored by 4.5. Over-under 57.5. Western Kentucky 5-4. New Mexico State 7-3, 5-1 in the conference. Are you going to go with the whatever New Mexico State is or the Hilltoppers?
New Mexico State Aggies, which is low-key maybe one of the better brands as far as logo and mascot and all that. No, I'm going to go Hilltoppers. New Mexico State, they're Conference USA. They're historically garbage. They lost to Hawaii. They lost to Liberty, lost to UMass. Their wins are not even that much better. South Harmony Institute of Technology, UTEP, LT, their wins are WIU, University of New Mexico, FIU, SHSU, which sounds like some kind of viral disease.
Sounds like South Harmon School of shit or something.
It literally sounds like freaking some kind of STD or something that or I don't know. But UTEP, LT, they've got some wins against internet schools, but I'm gonna take the Hilltoppers. I'm going to go with Vegas on that one. 19% of America picked them, but your boy's picking them.
I like it. Yeah, I'm going with the Hilltoppers for 2, mostly because they're from the state of Kentucky. That's still kind of the South. New Mexico is just a dump. Nobody likes it anyways. Go WKU.
Ironically enough,
they're really heartless on this deal. I don't know what the deal is. I really need to be quiet. All right, Texas State at Coastal Carolina. 6-3 against 6-3, 3-2.
Is Texas State one of the most picked weekly pick'ems. I
Bro,
swear, we've
I
picked
think
them
they've
like
been in here every single week. Like
like
that's the same thing I thought. I mean,
who from Texas State is sleeping with somebody at ESPN? Like,
I
why
think
are we
their
talking about
intern is
them?
the one that's running this thing. I really think that's. I was thinking about that today. Like, I didn't even know that Texas State existed or that they were the Bobcats before this year started. But I pick them every week now. So
Yeah, like we've picked them like 6 times this year or
yeah,
something. Like,
yeah,
golly.
yeah.
Uh,
So
I'm going Coastal Carolina. Screw Texas State. Get out of the weekly pick'ems. Coastal
yeah.
Carolina.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I mean, I'm picking Coastal in part just because of Grayson McCall alone.
I think Coastal Carolina's played better competition so far this year from what I'm looking at. So give me give me Coastal too. I think I'll go Coastal. I'm not sure who I picked on the actual game, but I'll go try to fix those later. Up
we,
next,
we both went forward with the 43% on the Tennessee Vols.
yeah,
So
yeah, so we can move on past that because I already picked that one. I'm trying to type and talk, and I just suck at it.
moving on, number 15, Oklahoma State Cowboys. They're going down to Orlando to face off against the UCF Knights. The Knights of the can't get above 500% round table. Oklahoma State has had some ups, some downs, some all arounds. 96% of America has picked them. Only 4% are riding with the Knights. Casper, what say you?
Man, goalish.
Goalish is at USF.
All right, give me the Cowboys. I do that every time. It don't matter.
I do the same
UCF
thing with
scores so many points. That's literally they score so many
Oklahoma
points
State and
every
Oregon
week.
State always jack me up too.
They score so many points though. Like that's dude. All right,
Plumlee,
here it is. Matchup predictor: 51% UCF and 4% of America has picked them. I damn near want to pick them. Oklahoma State's been on fire though, man.
yeah, I mean,
They beat a
you,
lot of good teams here. Let's see. Their wins: Oklahoma, Cincinnati. No, Kansas State. That's a good one. I don't know. It'd be perfect time for them to choke one though, man. It really would
it
be.
would. I mean, UCF
This
has
game
lost 4 of the last 5.
to me,
Um,
this is the hardest one to pick.
so
Honestly,
UCF has wins against Kent State, Boise State, Villanova. They lost to Kansas State, Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma, and West Virginia. And then they beat Cincinnati close on the 4th.
I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. Who you got?
Any particular reason why you picked them?
They've been streaking. UCS 4-5, and it's just Oklahoma State's a good football team. They're not ranked 15th for nothing. I mean, they score a lot of points. They beat some good teams. They've done everything they have to do. UCF is UCF, man. They just kind of screw up. It's just kind of what they do.
Gus Malzahn, I'm pretty sure, is their coach. Plumlee has been balling out for their as their quarterback there.
Do you realize that Oklahoma State is probably going to play Texas for the Big 12 championship, more than likely?
They're looking pretty
With
good.
that win over Oklahoma last week,
Who was
they pretty well
underneath them? We
sealed
just
that up.
talked about them. Was it Kansas? Is it nipping on their heels?
Kansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas State, and West Virginia, and Iowa State are all
I
4
may
currently.
I may change this, but I'm gonna go with my initial gut and say UCF. That's what I did last week. I went with my gut and I picked 4 upsets.
Proud of you.
We both picked 4 upsets, but I just started firing from the hip last week, so I may change this because I do like Gundy, but for right now, I'm gonna leave it alone.
I like it. All right, moving on. Number 9, Ole Miss at number 2, Georgia. 7:00 kickoff. ESPN night game. In between the hedges. Lane Train. Got to get the dub for Tennessee. Who you got?
It would help Tennessee if the Rebels win. I am going to root for the Rebels. However, much like T. Fitty, I enjoy being right. So I'm going to go with Georgia. It's Georgia at night at home. Kirby Smart's probably got 2 separate coaches that's watched Ole Miss all year getting ready for this. I mean, I'm hoping that they stumble against the Vols, but I'm going to have to go Georgia on this one because I'm really trying to gun for Daver down.
I'm trying to come up with an argument. I have none. Lane Train has pretty hair. Give me Lane to take the win at Georgia.
Honestly,
battle. Hey, listen, this is the battle of the damn visors right here, isn't it? Battle of the visors, baby.
I mean,
I'm Team Chaos. Give me Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they took their lumps, and it's time to get the big dub.
I would gladly be wrong on this one. I just, it's hard for me to picture Georgia losing at home at 9, but
the only reason that I'm picking them, like literally the only reason, is because I hate Georgia and I'm ready for something different to happen. So I'm gonna take Lane Train. They gotta lose sometime. They're not bad. Jackson Dart is great. What's that running back's name? I can't think. Judkins, stud. Yeah. I don't think Brock Bowers is going to play in this game. He is practicing now. I don't think he's going to play in this game. I don't know that Georgia's going to be able to put up the points to keep up with Jackson Dart and Judkins. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I hope this is a high-scoring game, and the reason I hope it's a high-scoring game is because I want Georgia to be absolutely worn out next weekend. So I hope they hit the over, and I hope Ole Miss wins. So give me Ole Miss.
Last game up, unranked Fresno State is traveling to San Jose State in yet another irrelevant game that for some reason they insist on us picking. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to take San Jose State again. Fresno State, overrated team, traveling to the in-state rivalry. Fresno State's 8-1, but it's time for them to lose again. I mean, I really have no argument. This is another one where Matchup Predictor has this game at 50.9 to 49.1. It's about dead even. You look at their stats, they're pretty similar. San Jose State they've won their last 3. They beat Hawaii, but again, it's in that, beautiful Mountain West Conference where they play absolutely nobody. They lost to Boise State and Air Force. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go San Jose State strictly on this as a home field advantage. Night game.
Fresno State's only loss has been against Wyoming. San Jose State, they lost to USC, Oregon State, Toledo, Air Force, Boise State. Like you said, Fresno State, it's not like they're necessarily playing like super, super high caliber talent, but I think I'm gonna go Fresno State on the road on this one. This one's strictly a gut pick. They're still playing for a Mountain West championship. They have a lot to play for. San Jose State, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. This would be a fumble type game that you could lose right at the last minute, but I'm gonna put my faith in Fresno State.
I like it.
And then my pick for Ole Miss versus Georgia is 57 points.
Oh, dude, I might have wrote that too. Dang it.
You put 52.
Okay, 52. All right, cool.
So we're close.
I hope it's higher scoring than that, just for the record. I just don't know that it's going to be. So
now it is time for a segment that, to be honest with you, we've not been doing great with as of late, but is still fun nonetheless.
Don't bet any money on this.
Time of the week where Big Drewski and Casper dishonor their families by placing betting wagers on college football games.
I'm all in.
Keep in mind that these two gentlemen are in no way, shape, or form experts and frankly, have no clue what they are doing. Please follow your state laws and gamble responsibly.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
So, not been great as of late. We've kind of kept Colorado in this entire time. At this point, if you do anything with this, I would consider a round robin with 2 picks each with these 3 total. because it's not been good. As a matter of fact, I cleaned my FanDuel out a week or two back. I'm only going to bet on stuff that I feel 1,000% confident in. But we try to give you guys something every week just to, if you want to throw a little something in. We were on fire at the beginning, but as of late, we're trying to get it back on track. My pick is going to be in the Colorado-Arizona game. I'm going to take the over 55.5. The way Colorado's been playing, they may hit that by themselves. They're also going to allow a lot of points, which is what they've done essentially all year. So I think 55.5 is pretty good. Me and Casper both talked about last week how Arizona is slightly underrated anyways. So, I'm going to take the over in that game.
I'm going to take Duke plus 14.5 at Carolina in the Battle of the Bell. This game always comes down to be a close football game. I think it'd be ignorant to think otherwise. Curious to see if Riley Leonard plays. I know he's still questionable, I think. No, looks like he's not playing. So, I don't know. Carolina, Duke, it doesn't really matter. Basketball, football, field hockey, lacrosse, bowling, swimming, don't matter. Going to be close. So I like the 14.5 there. Interesting kind of to note, like these two teams, like 4 weeks ago, we were talking about maybe one of them getting in the playoffs after winning this game. So this game has really got downgraded. It's an ACC Network game, 8 o'clock game. I hate that it's at home. Carolina lost their last 2 8 o'clock night games on ACC Network. I would probably look at Duke money line, but for this one, I'm going to take Duke plus 14.5. Literally, Carolina's 2 losses, both game on ACC Network, 8 o'clock to Georgia Tech and Virginia. So
I feel you. The kicker for this is Colorado, which I have
plus 10.5 at Arizona.
Plus 10.5. It's a home game for them.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like they can keep. I think that they can win that one, but I think they can keep it to within 10.5. So
you better hope they win it if you want Dion to be bowl eligible. Just for the rest
that's another reason too why I feel confident in it is because he is fighting to be bowl eligible. So, closing thoughts, Casper.
It's been real, brother.
It's been real. It's been fun. It has been real fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, if you guys have not already, click subscribe on the LTS show, and follow us on Facebook. I'm trying to be better about being more active on there. We are also on TikTok now. I believe it is at Little Tangerine Show Podcast, maybe? I don't know. I think there's like 3 followers because I just created it. But we're going to go ahead and slide on out of here. Again, thank you guys so much. Until next time, this is Little Tangerine Show, baby, and we're out. Peace.
Later.